Hi, my name is Nur Fathia, and in this video, I will explain about my industrial training for about 15 weeks upon completing my study. My internship placement was at Faculty of Applied Sciences, University Technology Mara. As for introduction to my industrial training, I will explain on the company background. Here is the picture of Faculty of Applied Sciences and the next figure is its logo. The faculty has seen 40 years of progress in the development of science and technology at UITM. It works hard to maintain a dynamic environment that fosters academic innovation and excellence in teaching, learning, and research. As a trainee at the faculty, there were two main tasks that I need to complete within 15 weeks. They are writing reviewed paper and doing lab work. For the reviewed paper, the title was a review on corrosion behavior of aluminium metal matrix composite, aluminium magnesium reinforced strontium and aluminium copper reinforced strontium. Meanwhile, for the lab work I need to prepare sample and run corrosion testing on ALMG and ALCU. This slide shows the details information of my lab work. The title of the project was Corrosion Behavior of Aluminium Metal Matrix Composite, Aluminium Magnesium Reinforced Strontium and Aluminium Copper Reinforced Strontium. For the sample preparation, there were several steps starting from casting, cutting, cleaning, bend glass rods, insert nichrome wire into glass rod, soldering, molding and polishing. After all the preparation step, the sample then will undergo corrosion. Next we move to the details of step of sample preparation which start from casting. During the casting step, the mold used was stainless steel permanent mold. The composition of the compound will differ as there will be 4 types of batch sample. The cast alloys then being cut into smaller size as required for corrosion testing, which dimension is 1 cm times to 1 cm times to 0.2 cm. The samples were cut using Buhler Abrasimet abrasive cutter. After that, the cut samples were being cleaned using GT Sonic ultrasonic cleaner. The temperature used was 40 degrees Celsius and the period words. There were 3 types of solution used during the cleaning process: acetone, methanol, and deionized water. The next step was bending the glass rod. The glass rods being bent using a Bunsen burner, and they will look like this figure. After bending the glass rods, nichrome wires were then being inserted in each of the glass rod. The length of the nichrome wire must be longer than the glass rod so that the soldering process would be easier. Next step was soldering process. A solder was used to melt the solder wire and connect the nichrome wire to sample alloy aluminium magnesium reinforced strontium and aluminium copper reinforced strontium. Then, the soldered samples will be created molds to make easier when polishing the sample surface. The molds will look like in figure. The ratio of epoxy hardener to epoxy resin was 1 to 5 respectively, 4 hours to let them harden. The last step in sample preparation was polishing. All of the sample surfaces being polished using Labopol polishing machine to obtain smoother surface. They are being polished using different speeds starting from the lower speed, which is 200 rpm, and then this 100 rpm. Meanwhile, the sandpapers used were consist of 2 different grits. For the corrosion test, the instrument used was Gomri Instruments Reference 600 Potentiostat. This instrument will give the open circuit potential graph and the potentiodynamic graph that will determine the linear polarization resistance. The step that must be done before the testing was preparing 1.0 molar hydrochloric acid solution to immerse the electrodes. The 3 electrodes system was used during this experiment, and the setup was shown in figure here. The counter electrode was the orange color connected to graphite, the reference electrode was the white one connected to AgCl, and the working electrode was the green one connected to. The setup was correctly connected. It can be run by clicking on Gomri framework on computer. After setting up the parameters, the OCP and potentiodynamic graph will appear on the screen. This slide shows the result obtained from the experiment. The first figure shows the comparison between aluminium magnesium reinforced 0.5 weight% strontium and aluminium magnesium reinforced 1 weight% strontium. It showed that current density of the sample with 0.5 weight% strontium is higher. In addition, the corrosion rate of the sample with 0.5 weight% strontium also higher compared to sample with 1.0 weight% strontium. The result for aluminium copper samples also exhibit the same as aluminium magnesium when reinforced with strontium. From the RNB concluded that addition of 1.0 weight% of strontium gave more corrosion resistance to both ALMG and ALCU. It is because the lower value of corrosion rate exhibited that the alloy has good properties to withstand the corrosion resistance. In conclusion, completing my industrial training at Faculty of Applied Sciences had enhanced my soft skills. I managed to deal with people at the laboratory like postgraduate students, lab assistants, and lecturers. Other than that, my laboratory skills had also improved as I learned and used the instrument by myself. That's all from me, thank you.